Welcome back to Indian Trace. Thank God the wind has finally died down. I will show you something, and appreciate you tuning in and joining the hunt. Appreciate all the people that decide they're just gonna sub. It doesn't matter one way or another. What matters most is if, you know, and it's gorgeous out here, isn't it? Eastern, central North Carolina. What matters most is if one, two people today change the way they think about something. Could be collecting ancient North American Indian artifacts, like some of these I'm going to show you in a second here. The sun is bright. I mean, look at these. Mercy. So it could be, and we're going to talk about these and take a look at them. Just wanted to be quiet and honorable. I found some stuff today. No doubt, and I'm going to keep going right down here. Can you see these clovers? I'm trying to get some good angles that are different. It's clover, a little bit of a winter crop. Something else, right? And artifacts. But number one, Indian Trace is a great place to learn about North American Indian artifacts. So we'll start with that. Of course, right here, you're looking at something awesome. And I have a couple things that I really wanted to share with you today. I was impressed. I was changed. I will change the way I think about things today because of some of the things I heard, and I'm going to share them with you in a minute. Look at this point, though. Unbelievable. That is my honor point. That is what comes from this area out where I am today. And it's an absolutely awesome piece. So I brought it out here to keep myself humble and to honor the area, so I wouldn't second guess it if I didn't find anything or get in the mully grubs, because I know what comes from here. Just look at it for yourself. Beautiful point, right? Absolutely beautiful point. So, with that in mind, I started to find some stuff. Look at the cortex on this rhyolite. That is the original color of the rhyolite. Rhyolite, of course, is a flint that we get from the Uwahari Mountains. 13 days foot travel from here, so it was awesome the way they traded it in. Little piece of quartz. Little quartz tip was great. Just missed a Guilford Yuma right here in front of us. And we're going to walk a little bit more here. Maybe we'll find something live. I don't know. I'm going to check a new area here. It's just the wind finally is cooperating a little. Look at the base. Concave. That indicates a Guilford Yuma. Might have broke when they were making it. It's an old break. Might be an impact fracture. Just a piece. Just an artifact, right? And then a great quartz tip here. It's quiet out here, isn't it? So anyway, from a great feature point like that, helps me to understand how I should feel when I'm out here, how I should honor the North American Indian and the site that I'm at, and keep my hope alive for artifacts like I found today. And not, if I can get this focus working here, not to get down if I haven't totally filled my bag like I do some days out here. Let me just pick these up and we'll get right going. All right. Now, as I said, I have no idea what is on this little stretch. No idea. What that means if you're a collector, and I'll share this first before I forget some of the other stuff I have to share with you today. I've been so impressed. I have some things I want to share with you on a discussion that I just listened to from Alex Jones and Dr. Steve Pieczenik and another. And I will put the political interest link there. I don't want to discuss it right this second, but let me say this about the site. the way it works in collecting artifacts, if you're in a new place and you know it's Indian land, you don't ever know. I mean, right up ahead could be a site that I'll have to name because it just has tons of artifacts. And at the same time, it could provide absolutely nothing. Odds are, statistically, it won't have much at all. Might not have anything. I'm assuming it won't have anything. But I am constantly surprised in an Indian land. And out here, it's all Indian land. I just have not figured out, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. I have not figured out. There was a reason when they were living here. But I have not figured out the rhyme or reason why my sites appear and pop up where I have found them. But you just got to go forward and take a little extra time, 5 or 10 minutes, to just go out, check an area out, and come back in if you're passing by. I have passed by many areas, and listen to this, it's so funny. Might have happened to you guys out there who have collected for God knows decades. I haven't even hit a decade. I'm a half a decade at the most, of 5 years. But I found a lot of great quality stuff, you know. But sometimes craziness happens. What I would call craziness is that there's been many times I have crossed over land, passed by it time and time again for 2 years, and it's a hot site. I gave up 2 years worth of easy collecting on a place that has a lot of Indian artifacts just because I passed it by. So I have tried to change my habits in passing through areas to give an extra 5 minutes maybe, if I can, just to check an area out, because all bets are off. I do not have a perfect science of it all. And I know a lot of you guys can jump right on board and understand that. Look at those trees. What a great view, right? To be out here. Again, join the Hunt with Indian Trace for those of you who just clicked on, and I see, you know, I'm humbled. I think it's great. People jump on here and they enjoy getting outside and checking out the area of North Carolina, and hopefully the wind's not blowing my voice away. Hey, that's great. And if they go back in time or jump through, there'll be videos with plenty of smoking artifacts, even in situ and live finds. That'll be there. Man, this wind, I don't know anything about it. So I promised myself I'd come down, run a 20-yard spread just down to the end of these trees and back. Sure, I wish I could understand the perfect science of how they live, where they set up camps, of where their ambush zones were, or where a kill site was, or a happy hunting ground was, where that game congregated, where they could ambush it decade after decade, century after century, an area that was happy hunting grounds, and a certain breed of animal always was there, and they unloaded time and time again with atlatls, hunting them and losing darts left and right, forgetting about the darts. Who cares when they had this game and this food that they could butcher and break down and bring home to their loved ones and their family, which is what they were really after. They're after the game. So it's hard to figure that out when you're out here, you know, and so I like to do this to give people a good look at things. Let them come on out with me to see how I have to handle things. I would love it if this were just a site, because this is an optimal area where I can have a lot of privacy. No cars going by or any could see me. I've had to run and bushwhack and get through the prickers, and I had a pricker catch me right on the bridge of the nose yesterday. It cut a scratch right down the top of my nose, 2 inches long, bloody. It's ugly. It's ugly, but hey, that happens. The prickers and the briars in North Carolina can be vicious. So, thanks to all, and my greatest hope, you know, the earth is God's in the fullness of this place. That's the number one thing I think about when I get out and hopefully find some artifacts, whatever. And I found a few today. You know, it's hard. Now, throughout the weeks, as you've seen, if you just take 2-3 videos or whatever, usually every single week, I'll pick up 1-2 smokers. You know, that'll satisfy me. But we continually get messed up psychologically because we falsely reset our expectations on good weeks, on stellar days, on incredible outings, on just the fate of coming across a cache or whatever it is. And a lot of you can I think, put a shout out and say, yeah, that's so true. So I have to continually go back down the stairs of my consciousness and humility to keep myself humble about Indian artifacts and about, now I know a lot of sites, I know places that are produced. You know, you get good at that. You know, you get good at it, but you also have to get good at regulating it, controlling your expectations. And I think a lot of you that hunt can understand that. I hope today, as we do this Join the Hunt, that a lot of you out there who are just out here, you know Indian trace, you know it's possible, you know, tuning in here, you're going to see some artifacts, you're going to experience the outdoors. I've had a huge response about just join the hunts and making my videos just slightly longer, letting you come out here and walk with me and just have a little discussion and comments about the discussion. Positive or negative, doesn't matter to me. You know, so I laugh because there's a lot of people who make a comment like, hey, I don't know if you're going to delete this comment because I disagree with you. I mean, how stupid is that? What country did they learn about when they grew up? Delete comments because I disagree. Now, if somebody's profane, rude, disrespectful, or hateful, and it's arrogant, prideful stuff, of course I'll delete it because it doesn't contribute anything to humanity. But if there's a disagreement with politics or ideals or ideas, please make the comment. Please share your best idea. That's the challenge. I think that's probably why people get stirred up to tune in to Indian Trace or to sub, which doesn't matter to me either way. I'm going to get out here. I'm going to find artifacts. Number one, should I pass away? Should I get run over by a truck today on the road? Which could happen. Now, I've got hit by cars before, you know, which could happen. If that happens, then I have a wealth of both audio and visual, as well as documentation of the artifacts that I found for my sons to take up after all of this heart. Sort of a ethical will, if you will. Okay, I'm getting ready to make a turn out here. I have no idea what I'm going to find right here, checking new stuff, you know. No idea. I mean, you could wake up on a smoker, walk up on a smoker. Here's the point. I watched, and I'll often put a video feed, an alternative news video feed on, because the modern mainstream news media is dead. They do not practice, I mean, I hate to tell you, they do not practice true journalism. Let's just leave it at that. I do want to make another statement, and it doesn't have anything to do with my opinion. None of this does. It's just a statement of truth. The CIA has been corrupt for decades. I know, you want to hang your hat on every single thing some important three-letter agency says, but it's not true at all. Liberty always bears through with the truest testimonies. Liberty does, freedom. And people who have an interest for freedom tend to say the truest things. That is, people who have an interest in freedom, and the freedom that gave you everything that you have, gave you a peaceful neighborhood, gave you the ability to own and defend your own property, own a firearm. There ain't nobody gonna attack my property without having a hard time. It's not gonna kick my door in without suffering greatly. That's freedom. Now, if you're a slave, if you're in a socialist republic, you don't have a right to defend yourself. Should a gang of Muslims, or, well, I don't want to say Muslims, radical Islamic terrorists kick your door in and want to rape your wife in front of you, well, that's just not going to happen here. Well, it's going to happen there, because even there, the government, look, we got a stretch right here. The government, now this is Indian land where I am. I'm across right over to the dirt, because until you left the dirt, treasure hunter for life. I'm sure he loves all this stuff. Sometimes I catch you, treasure hunter for life, talking like I'm talking. But until you left the dirt, it's never over. Opportunities are never over until you step off the dirt, right? So as I was saying, I won't get too far gone in freedom, but the political interest link is long, and what I do oftentimes is I'll come out at lunch, whatever, and I'll push play. And while I'm checking an area out, looking around, I'll just listen. I'll listen to a good discussion. I want intelligent discussions about our government. I want intelligent discussions about this nation. It's so young. Its constitutional republic, the Bill of Rights, and things that threaten it, and counteractions that we can secure our freedom and be activists in this. This video on the political interest link is close to one of the most powerful discussions I have heard in a long time. And I review a lot of it. Look at this. Look at this. Talk about wide open spaces. Remember, as I said before, I've checked it. There ain't nothing here. Now there is. I guarantee there's 1, 2, 3 arrowheads out there, but that's it. There's some artifacts out there just from passers through. But you know what I mean when I say there ain't nothing out there. So we're going to get going down here. We're not going to take too much time. And I want to finish this thought. Consider just pushing play for this political interest link that I'm going to put on here. Remember, it's a discussion with 3 people. Alex Jones, Dr. Steve Pieczenik, who used to work in psychological ops for the CIA right before and through the downfall of the Soviet Union, which doesn't exist anymore. If you've been duped or fooled by the mainstream media to think that Russia is evil and it's this Soviet bloc, you're fooled. It's Russia now. Nationalists who love their nation, in majority, are Orthodox Christians, and they hate radical terrorism, Islamic or not, domestic or not, and they punish it severely, like we had better get ready to. And I'm with my president on that. I am with my president on that. Here, it's this simple. And share this link if you think it'll inspire somebody. Looking at my time. I'm with my president on that. On this. He has said, and everybody knows it because it's become famous, that his intention, and thank you. On that, I have to say thank you to our military as I talk about this. Absolutely awesome veterans in military. Wait till you see, and you check this link, because Alex Jones is also doing a specials on, oh, this is awesome, awesome. He's also doing specials for the military. Veterans, as well as active military coming up, and just putting their shout out in support for the principles and the policies that our president is pushing right now. Now the American people in majority all want it. They celebrate it, and so does the military and veterans. So check that out. You might want to, if you're a military or a veteran, add to it. Unbelievable. I mean, one of the first reports I saw, I put on a political interest link. Look at this. This is wild. Not too often do I find red feathers. I'm not even finishing my thoughts, and this is going too long. Red feathers. How about that? Funny. Not often do I find red feathers. Not often. So as I said, the political interest link is awesome in discussion. I mean, when you listen to a discussion of people who are intelligent, who know what the world they're talking about, mercy. Why did I say it like that? Because the American people, the election proved it, are fed up with a bunch of people who think they're so important and call themselves ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, BCC, NPR, and they just flat out decide that they're so important that they're just going to listen to some ignoramus tell them what they need to say and how they need to convince you to believe. Oh, God. I don't want to get involved in that. But check out the link because it's awesome. Its premise, its foundation is what's going on right now. Of course, in the collapse, and it is a collapse, of the corrupt elements of the CIA that have been trying, I know it's hard for people to believe it, set up, if you haven't seen it, it's obvious from the very beginning of the election of Donald Trump to set him up with lies. Now the truth comes out. A data dump comes out with all their communications that prove that they have been being completely corrupt, breaking the law left and right, of surveillance, not just on you, but on our president. It's disgusting. So the American people, we need to rise up, and we need to be there for moral support and release and send and share all of these communications. They can listen to them all they want, that show our support as a people for freedom. For in this nation, we need to have enough backbone to say, give me liberty or give me death. How do you like those frogs? You hear them? Okay. Long enough. We're done. Nice view. Good points, good interest points. Number one, you don't always find a ton. Number two, there's some really great things to consider politically. And number one, if you have freedom, with great freedom comes great responsibility. And number one, that's to be informed. That's to be informed. You want your children to be free, to be able to choose what job they work. Choose what kind of car they drive. Choose what kind of appliance they want to use. What kind of light bulb they're going to use. Mercy. Oh, Lord. Okay. Everybody, thank you for tuning in to Indian Trace. And believe it or not, we're in Indian land, so that right there, that's Indian Trace. We'll see you later.